Welcome back to another Project Feline Devstream with your host, me, Project Feline, back again working on more. On more of what? I'm gonna let you finish that sentence. You decide what we work on today. No, I'm kidding. I've already got a plan for what I want to work on today. Working on more Gabi's model. Today, doing rigging. Because I'm sick and tired of doing everything else and I want to do rigging. So we're gonna do rigging. Here's how she's looking so far. Now, last week, we did normals. That's such a pain, but I've been working on them. I'll show you how they're looking. How are you guys doing, by the way? Glad to see you could all make it again. It's good to have you here. Helps me go a bit less insane. So, I haven't done the hair proper yet, but the body and face, that's the hard bit, and that's the bit I've done. So I'll just show you the face. So this, yeah, this looks weird, doesn't it? I think this was how it looked last time at the end. It was something like that. And that's how it looks now. And oh my god, I had to do so much like sorcery to get this to look right. And the reason this looks so weird, it's like, well, why is the shading all why is it like that, Ray? That's weird. Well, I'll show you why. It's because if I go into the render view like this, and if I get my light, check that out. The shadows don't glitch out. They just they stay in certain zones. They go exactly where they're supposed to, and nowhere else. So I've got the Rembrandt triangle under the eye, which the Guilty Gear models have. I've got that. I've got the the nose. I've got the shadow and highlight on the nose. I've got the cheeks. I've got the little bit above the eye. I've got the forehead, which like smooths across the head. And I'm not even that excited to show you because I'm so tired of it now. So it's like, hopefully this looks cool, but I am personally so sick of looking at this. It was so much like tuning, and I had to basically retopologize the whole face. So for a quick comparison, that you'll notice that the actual topology is almost completely different for this new one, because now I know how it affects the normal. So I had to basically go in and change a lot. So this was not going to work. It's like close, similar, but well, yeah, it has to be that way to get that lighting. So all those people that kept telling me, no, you don't use tries modeling a face. You can't use tries. That's bad. Don't do it. You have to use all quads. To those people, who's laughing now? Who's laughing now? Because look, because of triangles, this is when you know how to use triangles, and you have a direct, like actual like reason. You have a intention. When they're used on purpose, this is what you can do. Because this type of shading you can't do with quads. It's impossible. You have to use tries, and that's what I've done. So you see here the shadow. You're modeling in the shadows. That's what you're doing. So I've taken all those little lines and the triangles, and I've marked exactly where shadows go. And anyway, we're not going to be doing that this stream though. I just thought I'd show you how it's been going. I've been sort of mostly busy on video work this week, so I've only really had time to work on normals. But I do have a new episode coming out very soon. I know you guys have been waiting very patiently for it, but an episode will be coming out very soon. I've just like, I'm putting the final touches on it. And yeah, it's like nearing sort of like up the area where I'm ready to show it. So I'm going to turn all of her meshes back on. And we're going to be looking at the rig. Because what I really want to do, because there's a few little bits I have to do with the meshing as well, but a lot of it is stuff it's stuff that I need to have the rig and everything working. So for instance, the armor, we did this a few weeks ago, I think, maybe a week or two ago, and there's still some bits missing of it, and it's still not going to follow the body perfectly yet. but I've sort of reached a bit of an impasse where I can't make more good progress on these areas until the bones and weights of the body underneath it are like where they should be, and they aren't where they should be right now. Same with the stomach part as well. I have little bits of armor on the stomach I still have to do, but a lot of that is going to depend on how this whole area deforms, and I need to get something going so that I can test it. Like if I want to put more meshes over this, I need to have it so that the stomach and torso and legs and arms and everything, like they all deform the way that they should, because a lot of the armor that goes on top has to play nice with whatever the weight paints are for the body underneath. And I also have a lot of missing bones. I don't have a facial rig yet, and I don't have bones for the fingers, and I figured now would be probably a good time to add those in, because I think the hands are basically, I'm not going to be doing anything else to the hands, so those look how they will look in the final analysis. So I'm thinking, all right, I want to, and I'm really tired of modeling, so I want to get some rigging, and so I do have a rig here at the moment. I do have a rig at the moment that is a generated Rigify rig, and we're going to be using that to start from because I'm familiar with Rigify. There's also a lot of there's going to be some issues with it though. I know there's going to be some issues with it, and we're going to try and work through those. But before we get into that, if you haven't checked them out yet, I will implore you to check out the Gabi sticker sheet, link down below, to support the development of the game. I'd appreciate that so much, and then I can have a whole group of people in the world who I have matching stickers with, and that'd be awesome. Also, the shirt I'm wearing, this is through my Patreon. My patrons can earn this shirt, and they also get access to my Discord and all that. But I'm going to be doing a new design at the beginning of next year, so there's only 2 months left. If I've been wearing this a lot through my streams, and if you want to have the matching shirt, and I think there's a mug as well. There's also a mug of that design. And so that's going to be going away at the end of the year. Just thought I'd let you know. For the guys who have been supporting me, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Now with the rig, I've got something going. I'll show you what I've got at the moment. Well, first of all, you'll notice you'll notice that I haven't figured out how to mirror the normals yet. Everything I've tried has not worked. So I'm going to have to turn these two off. I do have a duplicate mesh that just has the, I've made a copy of the mesh that just uses the mirror modifier, because I think last stream, if you were there for that, I had this issue where it was like impossible to mirror the normals, and I know there is a way to do it. The way I was showing you just now is that I just copy pasted the mesh and like inverted the scale just so that I could see the normals, but that will not work with rigging, as you see. So I'm going to temporarily switch to my mirrored mesh. And yeah, I've tried to solve this. Everything I've tried, everything I've had suggested hasn't worked. So I'm going to leave that to later because there's more urgent stuff. Like normals, I could easily imagine sorting that later on. So with the Rigify. So this is the Rigify rig I've got at the moment. This is how it sort of looks, and it's pretty good. It's like a lot of the joints with how I've modeled everything work pretty well. So a lot of like the arms in particular and shoulders deform quite nicely just with automatic weights. So this whole time, because you might be saying, well, Ray, what rigging do you have to do? I looked at the thumbnail and it's posed already. Well, those are using auto weights, which are actually, like, they're not bad. I usually auto weights, I get a lot worse results. But it is like maybe 60% there. There's still a lot of fine tuning left. So you can see that some of the body does bend around when it shouldn't, like this part at the lower arm. Like, I'm not sure if I want all that bending around so much. The elbow is like pretty all right, I'd say. I don't think I'll need to touch that too much, but I don't have any bones for the fingers. So that's something I'm gonna have to do. The hips are a complete mess, and the legs are a complete mess. So if I, so if I try and bend the legs, the hips are not like, it's not good. It's not good. And then also the leg has a issue with the roll where it twists around, and I have yet to solve that problem. So if I try and move the leg at all, yeah, you'll see that it goes like full on freaking Beyblades over here, like twisting around. And I don't want twists in my model like that. So that's an issue. And what else was there? And yeah, there's no facial rig yet. Even though I have facial detail modeled in, and the face is probably going to be the most difficult bit. But I want to have bones to move her face, to move her jaw, to move her eyes, and I don't have bones for any of that yet. So the way we're going to get those bones is I'm going to be using Rigify presets and kind of combining them together into one skeleton. So for those who haven't seen my rigging process before, I mean, that's what I did for the last model, and now I've got a bit of experience having done that last model, and I kind of know what went wrong and what to look out for. So what I will do, I'm going to turn off Solidify, and I'm going to turn off the hair, because I don't want to focus, because I also need bones for the hair too, but I want to get to that a bit later on. Today I just want to focus on the body, like the fingers, and getting the legs to not break, and that type of stuff. That's kind of all I want to focus on for this stream, is just getting that sorted. So we'll start with the hand, because I really want to do the hand. I want there to be fingers through it. And the way we get that is I need to go to this is the meta rig layer. So with Rigify, it's pretty, I find it's my favorite rigging tool. It's very handy because you can basically place bones like this, and then it generates all of these complex controllers that make it very easy to animate. So it makes the IKs and everything for you, which is a huge time saver. But you have to kind of be careful. You can't just go and add stuff. You have to play nice with it. You have to not work against Rigify. So the way Rigify wants me to do things from memory, because it's been a while, it's been maybe 8 months since I've last like properly rigged a character, so I'm going to be a little bit rusty. But from memory, the way Rigify wants stuff done is that it wants you to use these presets, and then it runs a script that generates like controllers and that type of thing. So, and bone placement, and I want to talk about bone placement for the hand as well, because that there's a specific way to do it with the Arc System Works guidelines, which I've been trying to follow very, very closely. So to get the Rigify bones, I believe that there is a menu for they have like groups of presets. I just got to find where they are. I know that they're in one of these menus. I think it's like add. Oh no, it's not. I gotta be out of edit mode. So I think if I go to, or maybe if I can change this, I think I might be able to use this existing bone and generate the bones for a hand. So you see, yeah, it's going to be a little bit hard to read because my monitor's it's a bit more higher res, but there's these samples, and these are like a bunch of preset bones that are configured a certain way and are tagged a certain way. And there should be one called hand, limbs, palm. Oh, I don't know if that, maybe. If I go add sample, I don't know where it's gonna put it. Okay. Oh, that doesn't, that doesn't look like it's got everything I need. It doesn't have a thumb. All right, I know that there is one that has the full hand. I know that there is one. I just gotta find it. Limbs, super finger. I think that's just a single finger it'll add. Yeah, so you can add like a single finger, which isn't quite what I want. I know that there is absolutely one that is just a, I'm sure there was anyway, because I remember using it. But yeah, there's this one, head, which there is also a one with a face rig. I could have sworn there was. Maybe it's in a different menu. Yeah, they got all sorts of stuff in here. They have spines. So they have like these basic ones, which isn't what I want. I know that there is a hand. Unless they've changed it. Because it's been a while since I've used this. Okay, let me check. There's another menu I can look at because I'm not finding it in there. If I go to... Rigify? No, I don't want to regenerate. Oh yeah, I'll turn on, where's the viewport settings? I want to render this in front. Viewport display. Oh, it is in front. Oh wait, why can't I see it? Where's the rig? Where's the meta rig? I can't see it. Okay, let me undo then. I must have done something. Okay, there we go. So I'll hide the, because we can regenerate the proper rig, but I gotta find the piece where it lets me create a hand, because I know it exists. I know it's in one of these menus. Add armature. Oh, okay, here we go. Basic. Oh, it only gives me a full body. I don't want it. I've got a full body already. I don't want that. All right, well, let's look at, okay, no, that's the one I already have. I know that there is one with fingers because I've used it before for Gabi's old model. If they've taken that out, I'm going to be furious. Okay, all right. It's not quite what I wanted, but this will do, I think. So what I need to do, this is kind of where I started with Gabi's old model, is that I generated one with fingers and a facial rig already there. So that's not what I've done this time, because I wanted to do a very basic primitive test rig with the low poly version, if you guys remember that. And the low poly version didn't have a face or fingers at all. So that was just a fun like test. What I don't want to do though is, well, here's the thing I gotta decide. I can use this new meta rig and position it in the same place as this one, or I can try and transplant parts of this rig. Yeah, I think I'll just start with this one, because I think if I try and transplant the hands and face over, it's going to be a problem. And this has bone roll issues anyway. So I might as well keep that around as a spare, I think, because I still have the low poly demo versions, which I'd like to use in videos that are rigged to this version. So I'll keep that. We'll do it non-destructive. I'll rename it though, because it's just so that I have like the naming, because it's important that you name this stuff so you don't get lose track. So we'll call this humanoid meta rig low poly for the old one. And then for the, yeah, because it'll just be easier to start from scratch and then just move the bones in the exact same spot, because the bones do need to be in a specific spot. So I got to make sure that that's adhered to. Which rig is, okay, so that's the low poly rig. So let me rename that. All right, so now this new meta rig I'm gonna call humanoid. Now you notice I'm not calling it Gabi rig, I'm calling it humanoid rig, because there's a reason for that. The reason is because if I make other humanoids, I could just reuse this one. Gabi's rig, however, will be a deviation of this rig, but I want to have the basic humanoid rig in place, and then I'm going to deviate from it once it's all set up and add features that are specific to Gabi, but it'll have everything else in common with any other humanoid, like the arms, fingers, legs, that type of thing. So we've got the humanoid meta rig. Let's move everything into position. So I'm going to use vertex snapping. I'm going to hide the model because we only need the bones visible, and I'm going to just move everything in place. Can I make these? I don't know if I can make these a different color. That'd be handy, because it's hard to... Or if I render these as a different... Because I'm going to get confused which bones where. Can I change how these are... B-bone. Alright, that'll help. Okay, that's... Actually, wireframe's fine. There we go. So here's something that's kind of funny, because this is like a 6 foot tall person, and this is Gabi. She's quite small. She's little. So we gotta like shrink everything down. So if I just use vertex snapping, I should just be able to like snap everything in place. Now what I should do, I should use X mirror. That will speed things up. There we go. Now, these bones, these have to go higher, I think. Or no, maybe not. Okay, maybe those are fine. I know that there is something specific with the spine bones. Because Rigify, here's the thing. Rigify will have a way it wants you to do things in terms of where you should place bones. Like if you read the docs on Rigify, which I have, it's like, it will basically say, here's how you should be putting your bones in these areas. But Arc System Works' docs don't, some of the times it'll go against that. So I'm kind of going a bit in the middle where I'm picking and choosing bone placements that benefit my workflow as far as the Arc System Works docs are concerned. And then if I can't get it to work, I'll default back to what Rigify wants. So there are some instances like that, like the knees, because in Arc System Works docs, it's like they want you to put knees in a certain spot, but if you do that with Rigify, then it'll bend the knee the wrong way. So I think there is a way to solve that. I'm sure there is, but that's a challenge I'm gonna have to work through. So I'm just gonna like make sure this is all kind of in place. Now, one thing I haven't quite worked out is how it treats bone roll, because it's a bit complicated. And bone roll is essentially, you know, in what axes is the bone like rotated. So like the bone twist. That's another word for it, I think. So I want to look at that. I just want to make sure that this is all kind of in place. Now the head's massive. We'll work on that in a bit. So with bone roll, because I want to make sure I get that out of the way. I have no idea. I've been trial and erroring this for a while, and I don't know if it factors bone roll in. If you're generating a Rigify rig, what I don't know is that if it factors in the roll of these bones when you generate it. Because every time I try to do it, it like will sometimes factor in the bone roll, and then it sometimes won't. So I haven't quite worked out how it wants me to do bone roll, and I haven't been able to find anything about how it wants me to do it. So I've just been kind of like trying stuff. But I do know that it's like a good idea to have it sort of as good as you can get it with this is the meta rig, they call it. So I'm gonna go in and just clear out, or no, I gotta be careful. What I will do, real quick, I'm gonna create another, I need to look at what the bone roll values are set to in the default rig. And I just wanna see how it's done here. Okay, so it does have roll, but like about 90 degrees. All right, so I'll move that over, and we'll do like I think for this one I cleared them all, and I don't know, there was a reason I did that, but we'll try and do it because I've got these set like very straight. So I'm gonna just punch in manual values for the bone roll for most of these. Because I've got the T pose I have is very, very rigid. For some reason, this bone roll says 90, but I know it isn't 90. Unless... oh, no. If I do that, maybe. Oh, I just want to move that. Ah. We'll get to that. because I'll have to see the mesh because these fingers are way too long. But I just want to focus on the limbs and the spine and everything. So the roll for all these should be 0, and it's not 0 there. I think the roll for this, that's 0. So I just want to 0 those out. And again, I don't know how it like treats it, because again, it sometimes will factor it in, and sometimes it won't. But I figured, I don't know, out of superstition, I guess, we're gonna set the bone rules here anyway. Might as well. No, I've done something. Ah. Okay, I need to move this whole thing. There we go. All right, that's now. Okay, that's 0, 0, 0. What's this? Should that be at 0? Let me check. What bone roll is that? That is almost 0. And then I'll check what these are meant to be. Okay, looks like they don't care about bone roll for these hip bones. And then for the legs, I want those at 0 as well. Because yeah, I've tried to model. A big mistake I made with Gabi's old model is that the rigging pose was cumbersome. Let's just say. I might get it open a bit later and show you, but I just want to make sure that bone roll is all sort of in place. I'll set this. I might as well set that to 0. Okay, so. We'll open the old one. I'll show you the difference in this pose. Because I will say, I'm so happy I did this in a T pose and not an A pose, and I'll show you why. So for comparison, where is Gabi's old model? All right, so here's Gabi's old model, or I guess her current in-game one. Let's see if I can get the rig. So that's the rig I had, and I'll turn off all of the, I don't need all those widgets on. But rigging this in this pose was a pain. It was the worst. Because I turn all this stuff off. So these are like the basic sort of joints. Now, now if you look at how I did sort of like the hands, for instance, you'll notice that the bone roll is actually off for all of this, and I didn't notice. So you'll see the. Hold on. I'll turn it on with wireframe. It's a bit hard to see. I'll turn off solidify. And I'll turn on the wireframe. So you'll see with this is her old model that the actual hand bone is rotated. And I didn't notice that that was like a bad thing, but it made moving this hand around so difficult. And I remember going in and like having to like hand do and place these bones so that they were in the exact middle of the fingers, which were modeled. I don't know why I modeled it like this. It was stupid. But yeah, controlling these were such a pain. And you'll see as well, there's still issues with it where like her, what is this called? I don't know, this bone. It like clips into the skin. It's all wrinkly and strange. The proportions are like completely off. Like it should be rotating from lower down the hand. I see it so obvious now. And like the thumb isn't bad, but like the posing the fingers, because all the rotations and rolls are just off. So if I wanted to like rotate, like if I wanted to take all these fingers, for instance, and like rotate them like this, it's like all of the rotation like this way are so like they're off, so that the fingers are all kind of gonna go in weird, like it's hard to predict how the hand is gonna unfold Like if I then tried to take all of these and rotate them down into a fist, you know, I mean, it doesn't, I guess I did an all right enough job for it to be tolerable here, but they should be closer together. That's what it should be like. And that part there shouldn't clip, and it does, because I didn't have any knuckles modeled in. So there's a lot of like issues like that. And yeah, it just looks strange, and it's like, it was such a pain to try and like do. And then for the hand and stuff too, because the actual rotation as well for the, you'll notice the elbows bend downwards. They should bend like that, not like that. And then the knees were also, had a huge issue with the knees that I never fixed, where it's like the actual model, it's like bowed-legged. And it was, by the time I noticed it, it was too late. So when she bends her legs, it looks so strange. Like, now the armor did hide it a little bit, but what I had to end up doing, because of how I had done this, when I was animating her, I had to compensate for that curve in the animations. So in her running or whatever, or jumping, I've actually been rotating the knees inwards to hide it. And it's like, it's just irritating, you know? So I've strictly avoided doing anything remotely close to this. And yeah, also, and then there was the whole thing with the shoulders. I might have shown this a while ago, but because I modeled her shoulders like this, I don't think any amount of weight painting would ever solve this type stuff. No amount of weight painting can solve that. So that's one of the reasons why I was happy I started fresh with this new one. So with the T-pose, those problems become a lot easier to deal with. So in terms of, because if you have things like bone roll, and because if it's perfectly straight, then I can just set the bone roll at like exactly 90 degrees or exactly 0, and it will like be perfect. Like I won't have to like adjust the roll because the arms are being lower or the elbows are at an angle. Like it's been modeled so that it's like facing perfectly north, south, you know, all that stuff. So that's one thing I am happy about, that like this could be a lot worse if I'd gone about it the way I had done for the first one. So with the hands, I guess we should start positioning those. So I'm gonna get out here, and this is where the where I'm so thankful I modeled the hand, because yeah, some of you have probably been looking at the hand and you're thinking, wow, that hand looks so uncomfortable. I couldn't do that pose. But maybe you can. I don't know. Like, is that... Hold on, I can't see my camera. Like, the hand kind of can do that pose if you try really hard. So I don't know if that's like close, but that's how Arc System Works model their hands. They do it like that, and I was so confused why, but it makes sense now, and it will make sense to you with what we're about to do here. So I'm gonna hide the old rig. Just focus on this, and I want to make sure that this renders in front. Where's rendering? Viewport display. Oh no, I just want to render this on top of the hand so I can see, we can see what I'm doing. I know there's a button for it. Ah, here we go. In front. There we go. So, you can probably see how much easier this is going to be, because all the fingers are facing the same way. They're all rotated the same way, and it's facing straight. So we can use like snapping and all this stuff. And yeah, and it'll be pug. So let's start with the... we'll just do the bases of each of these fingers. We'll start there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to vertex snap these to the top of the fingers. Now we're not going to leave them there, but just to get them in position. This is what we're going to do. Because there is a place, I know exactly where they do need to be, but it's gonna be very easy at the moment if I just go and add them to these joints. So you can probably start seeing how much easier this is gonna be. I don't know if anyone actually, I don't know if I was streaming when I made that first I don't think I had been streaming yet. So I don't think I don't know, maybe I might have shown some of it in the video I made. But I don't think you guys... I do remember, I have my own memories of rigging that first hand. And it was like, oh, I hate it. I absolutely hated it. So I'm not going to hate this, though. I can already see it. And then where's the thumb? Well, I guess I'll move it there. Oh, I think I might... Do I have too many bones? Maybe not. Maybe if I move that there and move that there... Move that there, and move that there. Okay, that should be good. I don't know how far that's meant to be. Let me... Alright, I guess... Yeah, I guess that can go there. Now, here's what we gotta do now. Oh, that's wonky. So I've sort of got them roughly in place. And then for the knuckles, I suppose we could... I think... I gotta remember... Well, we'll do the fingers, because I know where the fingers have to be. So now that I've got them sort of on the top view, look, you sort of lined up where they should be, we're gonna look at the side view and how far up they are. Now, according to the docs, according to how Arc System works, they have a whole 40-minute talk on rigging... No, not even just rigging. They do have one on rigging, but they have another 40-minute talk on bone placement. Not even weight painting, just bone placement. And I read that a while back. And what I remember from it is that they say that you should place the finger bones closer to the bottom. Like, if we I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll get them sort of in the middle, and then we'll see how far we can offset them. Oh no, yeah, I have a vertice for that already. We can line it up with. I don't know if that's too far down, but it's like around there-ish. That's what they want. No, that might be a little too low, but on the lower side. And there's a reason. Now, can I want to sort of get these roughly in place for the rest. Oh, okay, that's too low. Or is it? No, that's fine. I don't know about the... I think those go there. Yeah, so a bit like that. So I just got to do it for the rest. Okay, that's a little too low. You don't want them at the very bottom. You want them kind of half. If that makes sense. Well, like on the lower quarter. So I think they're all a little too low, but I've just been trying to snap them to vertices. So once I have them all snapped in place, it'll be a bit easier to then heighten them all a little bit. Oh, come on. Yep. Now, let me consult. I do have a reference. I thought I had a reference image for the fingers. I'll see if I can get it. I just gotta dig through all my tabs. I know I kept it around. There is a specific image that shows you the fingers. I'll show you what I mean. I can actually show you the exact picture for it and what we have to do. And I think there's did I have another one? I do have a few more that I'll keep these around on this window. I think, is that all? I hope so. I think those are the important ones. Yeah, so... Oh no, maybe it is on the top. Maybe I had it wrong. Yeah. So I think, no, that was for the knees. I'm thinking of the knees. For the fingers, yeah, you want it sort of like near the top half. All right, so I had it the other way around. But yeah, you don't want them in the middle. That's the main thing. So if I take all these, because they're all sort of lined up the way I want, I should be able to just move them up like that. Oh, hold on. Okay, well that's, okay, I'll have to line them up again. Let me just make sure, okay, so and they have to be kind of in a straight line too. So I gotta make sure I do that. And then the knuckles, its forward sort of area has to be in a certain spot. And because I've got it like modeled in, that shouldn't be too hard. So I will... Alright, so the start of the fingers, yeah, it has to be like lower. Has to be about there. So that's kind of the interesting thing about learning this stuff is that, yeah, you... Because in the Rigified docs, they'll say something different about where to put the bones. So it's like a matter of like sort of picking and choosing what rules to follow when. So yeah, I think they might have to go. They might have to go a bit further back, even. Maybe, yeah. This one has to go a bit further back. Okay, and I'm just gonna move this bone out of the way. It's getting a bit annoying. All right, and then I just want to make sure that the y-axis is like lined up with everything, so it's in a perfectly straight line. And then we are going to... I'm going to just straighten all of this. And then I'm going to sort of try and like position it where it's sort of in that, like, I don't know what it is. It's like not the very top. It's sort of like just above, like under the surface. Which I guess is what I've got now, actually. So I might leave that where it is. And I'll clear the roll so that it's perfectly rotated to be straight like that. Now that's a bit too high. So I need to take this bone and sort of lower it a little bit. I'm trying to line it up with the vertices, like that vertice. Like the height. Because that's the thing that's kind of handy, is that if you have topology set up a certain way, you can like use it to snap stuff, which I find very handy. So I want it to be kind of like there. That's what I reckon. But I don't know, is that still too high? Yeah, it's still a little too high. Unless, okay, what if I do, okay, that's a bit nicer. There we go. We'll clear the roll, and then we'll go do the other fingers. My first devlogs on Gabi's first model. There's probably a lot I did wrong. I almost don't want it. I almost don't want to see them. I'm too embarrassed. Because they are not, I don't know, they're not great when I look at it now. Okay, that's all right, I think. Oh, no, this bone's wrong. That has to be further up. I don't know if that's... that might be alright. Clear the roll. There we go. Say hello to Brazil. Hello, Brazil. Why, yes, I am aware that the entirety of Brazil is watching, so I will greet all of you. Actually, yeah, I think I have heard of, like, there's a few people that watch me from there, which is cool. Yeah, that's the funny thing, because, like, I really have no sense of geography at all. I know the Skyrim map better than my own neighborhood, so... yeah, I don't really know where any of those places are, but I like hear the names and it's like, oh, that's okay. I know that that's a place. I haven't heard of that one. I don't know. I want to know how to pronounce that now. Where is that? I've never. Oh, South America. Okay, see, South America. I have no concept of South America. I literally keep forgetting that it's like South America is like a place. I mean, it looks cool. But, oh, 6 million people, wow. Yeah, because I don't know what it is, like, anytime someone mentions America, I think, North America! Because, you know, the entire world revolves around North America, after all. So that's kind of my only sense of, like, the world is whatever's happening specifically in Silicon Valley, California is like what's happening everywhere. I don't know. I think it's just because like the majority of like YouTube, I think, sort of is from Cali. What is that? What the locals call it? From Cali. So I just assume that everyone's just sort of like they're, you know, from that area. All right, what are the where do the knuckles have to be? Or not the I've got the knuckles here are fine. It's just these. I don't know how far back these are meant to go. I don't know if there's any. Okay, they don't say. So I'll work it out on my own. Where do they put the bones here? Okay, well they don't. Where did I put them on the old rig, if at all? Where's the meta rig on? So I'm real quick. I'm just opening up Gabi's old meta rig from the old days. How did I do? Okay, well I just had them end somewhere. Okay, well if I follow the sort of the line from the thumb, maybe that's where I should join them. Or not join them, because they're not joined. So I gotta make... I think it's probably a good idea I don't join them, because if they're not joined by default, there's probably a reason. Or... yeah, I've picked where I want them to end. They'll all reach sort of this sort of line here. That's where they'll go. But I don't know how high how high should they go is the question, because they go too high. Maybe they probably should go a little bit higher than they are currently. Maybe like there? I don't know if that's too much. Because yeah, the docs only really show you the fingers, they don't show you the palm. But if I had to guess, well, let's look at my hand. Where should the bones go? Well, I think those bones would control. They don't control the fingers. They control the breadth, like the stretching the palm, making it go expanding. I can't stretch mine that far, but Gabi can. So I gotta think where. Maybe they shouldn't stick too high. Maybe they should sort of stay around the middle, like where I think where I had them was probably fine. Yeah, because I don't remember exactly what all the bones do, but I'll find out. But I have to think that those control the like the palm doing like that. That has to be it. That's the only thing that makes sense. Except I've got the roll set at 0, and I don't know why they're still rotated. Oh no, it's probably yeah. It's because yeah. No, I know why. It's because they're not like perfectly straight. They're a bit rotated. I don't know if there's a I don't know if there's a way I can sort of adjust them to be rotated in the natural way. I know that there's a button for it. I just don't remember where it is. Maybe I'll just manually set the roll to like that. That feels like kind of natural. I don't know. If that has issues, I guess we'll come back to it. There's no way to know yet. Let's get the thumb. Now, I gotta look at... I can look, here's the cool bit. I can actually see on my own hand exactly where that goes. It's hard for me to show. I have to rotate my... Let me get my camera so I can see. So that's exactly where that bone should be. This guy. So I'm just gonna look at where it is on mine and copy it. Yes, I am indeed plagiarizing from myself. I dare, yeah. Let's see myself try and sue me for stealing my own. I don't know what can the human body be intellectual property? That's the real question. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Well, okay, let me look more. I gotta straighten my arm and look at this carefully. Okay, so that should be going not that way. It should be there. That's it. I've got a vertex exactly in that spot. How cool. Man, I'm so glad I modeled this properly so that I have vertices exactly where I need them. I'm so glad I did not use goddamn quad remesh or subdivide. I'm so glad I didn't use that. Because if I had, yeah, this would be a nightmare. I wouldn't be able to do any of this. Now, these do need to come a bit further back. Oh, not like that. They gotta be like sort of there-ish. Oh, no, yeah, that's the bone. That doesn't look right though. Something looks kind of off. Something looks kind of off about it. Like it looks kind of, I don't know. Maybe it should be going sort of here. That looks a bit more natural, I reckon. Yeah, I'm liking that more. Something about it, I don't know. Something about it seems a bit more natural. And then there's this bone, which I think the length of this bone literally controls one thing only. This guy controls literally how big like the hand bone, like the visible controller for the whole hand is, I think. And in the Rigify we'll put it about here. So we will put it there. Now, do I have the wrist? Because the wrist has to also be in a certain spot. So I will go and check if I've got the wrist in the right spot. Because that's everything will depend on the wrist. Oh, did I have? Okay. Well, that's sort of I've got that bit, I think. Where it's sort of like yeah, I've got that. But it's like the vertical, it's the up and down. Is there a reference for that somewhere? I'm just looking. I have like a bunch of tabs of just like slide images that I found months ago. So, I mean, it's a bit hard to tell with that one because it's like, it's bent. I'm trying to find if there's like one of my tabs, one of the many tabs has something about. Oh wait, well there's one that's interesting that isn't quite what I wanted, but this is sort of fun to look at, just to see what the hand. Because here's the thing, I don't know what these hands are gonna look like when I pose them. That's why I want to rig this first, because I really want to find out. I hope it's gonna be as good as this. That's what I'm hoping for, but I don't really know yet because it's not done. So that's the thing I'm trying to look out for, because the hands do admittedly look very awkward in this sort of Mr. Krabs pose, but I really hope that they look the way I expect them to look when I pose them, because when you pose them, it's gonna look completely different. It's gonna like look natural. So if I look at that from the top down, I guess we can try and do a rough comparison if these are indeed in the right spot. It looks, I mean, yeah, maybe the knuckles might need to be a bit further back, but that's like I think maybe in the model itself, maybe. But, oh well. I guess the fingers are okay. I guess, yeah, I guess we'll find out, but I just want to make sure that the wrist is sitting right. But I don't think I've got any reference for the wrist. I swore I did, though. I know I've got something somewhere for it. I could have sworn. I've got stuff for knees, but I don't want to do the knees yet. I want to do the wrist. I want to do the flick of the wrist. Okay, I might... Maybe I did have something. Well, that bone is sort of sitting near the bottom. I guess that's probably fine where I've got it. So the thing I just want to make sure of is that this is sitting exactly straight like that. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why I want this bone being perfectly flush. Well, let me check. What bone roll is that? Okay, 90 degrees. What is the bone? Okay, the bone roll for all these is like rotated all weirdly too, so I don't know if I want to exactly copy all of that. Oh, please don't crash. Uh-oh. No! No, Blender, come back. Alright, let's close old Gabi model. Let's get her out of there. Do not save. Let's get her out. I know this will save. It'll work. I know it will. It always does this. Every time I'm on stream, it's only when I'm on stream it does this. Whenever I try and save while I'm on stream, it always goes, oh, am I gonna crash? Oh, and then it like gives me a heart attack, and then it ends up fine. Like 99% of the time. Yeah, see? I told you, it's fine. There's nothing wrong. Nothing is wrong. Okay. Now, I really want to test this now, but can I I think I might be able to generate this without messing up something. The face rig though is completely, oh, I don't even know if I want to touch that today because that is going to be a lot of work. Well, we might as well get the bones sort of roughly in place. Might as well do that before I hit generate. We might as well. So I'm just gonna do it rough. Now, yeah, just using like snapping to parts of the verts, like the vertices that are on the model. That's all I'm gonna do. Because there's probably gonna be a lot of like sorcery involved. Okay, let's start at the bottom because I can't. Let's start at the bottom. So I believe, oh dear, because there's a lot of bones. I don't know if I can separate them out or if it's just put them all in one group called, I think it has put them all in one group called face. So some of you might not have seen this, but Gabi does have perfect dentures and pearly whites and a tongue underneath there. So let's get the tongue bones in place. Oh, it's so hard because there's so much model detail. I can't see what I'm doing. There's so many bones. All right, what if I did this? What if I just moved this out of the way first, like that, and then dragged these down one at a time? That might be better. All right, that's a bit easier to see now. So let's bring the tongue. Let's just do it a part at a time, a component at a time. So yeah, weirdly enough, some of you might not know this. Some of you might not have noticed at all. But old Gabi does indeed have a facial rig, except I barely utilized it because it was done badly. But some of her animations do have facial expressions. Not all of them, because I didn't have time, but some of them do, like the running and the grinding. And the face actually looks not bad. It looks a bit jank, but it looks like okay when it's like old Gabi's face looks okay when it's actually posed and emoted. Because I think I probably a lot of you reckon that the face looks very stiff right now. And that's because, yeah, it's in the default. If you had anyone's face in that pose, it would look off. Because no one ever has no expression except the NPCs. So Gabi's still kind of got the NPC sort of like fluoride stare going on here. So the way we get rid of that is, you know, by emoting it, by adding facial expressions, by changing her eyebrows and all that, like opening her mouth, moving her eyes. That's like a lot of it's going to look a lot more in character once that's all there, because all of the drawings I have of her all have facial expressions, which is probably the one major thing right now that's holding it back from the concept art. Why it doesn't look the same is because all of the artwork and the thumbnails I've made of Gabi, you know, there was one on one of my stickers, as a matter of fact, which you can check out, link down below. Like, one of my favorite stickers is this one where she's running, and sorry, this is really low res, but she has this sort of mad face, and I can't do that with a model yet without the facial rig. But if I can make that facial expression with the rig, then I guarantee you it will look like exactly the same as the drawing. So that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping to accomplish. Isn't there a hide option in Blender? Maybe, but I don't. Usually when I hide stuff, I lose it and I can't find it again. So I'm just gonna move it. It's just easier to keep track of. Thanks for all that. Guys, go easy with the emotes. Jesus, there's so many. Did my old model have this many bones? Yeah. Well, here's the interesting thing, and this is what I would love. Well, I guess we'll have to wait until it's done. But the interesting thing I'm doing about this rig versus the old Gabi model is that the rig is the exact same rig. It's the Rigify rig. So it's going to be really interesting looking at how new Gabi uses the same rig for a better outcome. That's the thing I'm excited to see once it's all ready. Oh, these bones are all connected. Okay, let's just do the chin. Can use the slash key to quick toggle. Oh, I don't know what that did, but I can't see my model. So, oh, what? Okay, look, I don't like that. I'm just gonna keep doing what I was doing. I don't like it moving the camera like that. Well, wait a minute. I know there is a key to unhide and a key to hide. Okay, I won't. Now I know how I won't lose it. I know that I remember the keybind for unhide. So I'm just gonna hide this because I just want to look at it from this sort of side, and I'm gonna hide that. Okay. Let's get the next. I think it's these. Well, this is like all. Well, not. I'll take these two down. But yeah, so yeah, weirdly enough, Gabi's old model, one of the reasons that one took a long time was because it did have all of this stuff. It's just that I didn't really have the expertise to take full advantage of it at that point. Because I was like, I didn't really know anything that much about, like that was the most complex character I had done at that point. I had only really had experience with like mobile game characters, which are a completely different standard. Yeah, I was really foolish to think, oh, I can model mobile characters. I should be able to model a desktop game character, and it's like, no, no, it's so different. There's a lot of like things you can't quite get away with. Standard is like a lot higher, so that was like, you know, it was a good learning experience. I learnt a lot doing that first one. Without that one, I wouldn't be able to do this one, because a lot of what I'm doing here that you don't see exactly is stuff that I know to avoid because of the first model. And that's sometimes, you know, that's sometimes what you got. That's the best you can get, really, is just knowing what not to do, what to avoid. Knowing what kind of jank can happen. I think that's something I remember underestimating. And a lot of my, like, peers would underestimate, because I remember there was like this was years and years and years ago, there was some like 3D course I was doing, and I don't know, we had this big group project. It was a complete disaster, but we had this big group project, and I had already taught myself this other modeling program called 3ds Max, which is like ancient. It's pretty old, but I taught myself that, and for this project, everyone wanted to go learn Maya. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that, because I guarantee you there's gonna be some issue, because, you know, they're not the exact same tools. Like, there's that upwards slope of having to get familiar with a new tool set that's gonna slow people down. So I opted out and said, you guys can do that. I'm just gonna stick to what I know and use the 3ds Max instead. Because the types of characters we were modeling for that project, they were like these sort of monsters, and I'd never modeled a monster before. So I knew it's like, I'm probably gonna have heaps of issues with this because I don't know how to model monsters. So I'm gonna have to learn how to model monsters, and I don't want to do that on top of learning Maya at the same time. So I just picked, you know, I still had issues with it. There was a lot of like weird, mainly with modeling, because the character I was doing had 3 heads. So I had to come up with a smart way to make a 3-headed dragon type guy with like, and have the heads not have to model each head individually. Because they were all slightly different, and I was like, can I do this a smart way where I use like symmetry or something? And I don't remember how I did it, but it was really, it was a pain. And then I had to like do sculpting and all this other stuff on it as well to get the details. So I already had heaps on my plate to learn. But out of everyone in the team, because we had like a few other people doing characters as well, and we all had like one monster to do, and I got mine done first because I knew that the jankness meter of like how much jank will you have to put up with if you're trying to do that in a new program as well, it's like it's going to be so high. So that's why I kind of got mine done first on that one, I think, for that reason. But that was that taught me a lot about the kind of, and Gabi's model and all the characters I did after. Like, a lot of it teaches me each time of the amount of things that can go wrong and what to expect. Like, because I think that's the main takeaway, is that, you know, there's that underestimation of like what kind of weird, obscure problem can happen that you will never, ever, with any amount of planning, account for. Because that's just how it is. I'm trying, because I'm trying to figure out how to break up this face, because all of these are like touching. So I don't know, maybe I'll take this lower jaw bit only. Oh, but that's touching there. So yeah, because I don't want to like break it. Okay, I can move this without it moving anything else. But yeah, I'm sure every 3D artist probably has a story like that. I'd imagine it's sort of like a rite of passage, I guess. Is like waking up to the sheer amount of like, here's the things you never considered that will break. It's always fun when you go and find those out, isn't it? Well, where do I want these to... Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Because I have another piece as well. Oh. Wait. Let me hide this. Let's do the mouth. I've got the mouth here. We'll do that. Now, there is a specific place I want it. I want it at that corner. Perfect. Is there... I think I might have a vertex group for the teeth. I might have a mask for it. I'm just going to turn that on so I can... Yeah, I'm just going to turn off the interior there so I can see what's going on. Oh. Alright, that's alright. Weight painting that might be a bit tricky because it's very close together, but I'm sure we'll work that out. All right, what other? Okay, I had this bit, and I'm just gonna turn everything off at the moment. Oh yeah, no, there we go. I gotta be in edit mode. All right, where should these go? Well, let's focus on this side. I roughly know where that's meant to be. See here, yeah, so the cool thing with this is because I've got a line modeled into the cheek there of where this can go. So I'm going to... Oh, that's very glitchy. Oh dear. Okay. Let's think about where these should go. That should go there, that should go there. I think. Where's the other... Oh, I need to look at the other rig I made just to see how it looks by default. Oh, so those should touch the corners of the mouth. Okay, that's easy. That's easy to decide. All right, let's move you back. So this should touch that, and that should be there then. Oh, why is this on the other? Oops, that should not be on the other side. All right. Oh, hey, Cosmo. Yeah, the bones they're coming along. I did the hand just a bit earlier, and I really want to hit generate and look at the weights. I really want to do that, but I want to get the bones set up in the right spot first. Now, I think these are meant to go on the eyebrow. So we'll put those on the eyebrow. Except I really hate that it's like trying to... Okay, we'll do it from the front. It keeps putting them on the other side, and it's like, no, don't do that. I want the bone in the middle. Oh, wait, yeah, wait a minute. No. Can I? Yeah. See, what? Yeah, see, no, I don't want you moving that. I just want you to, yeah, that's what I want. Ooh. How far should that bone go? I reckon, well, I guess that'll do. Except, yeah, this bone doesn't feel like it's in the right spot. I think the... yeah. I want that there. I think. Do I want it further back? Maybe I do. Maybe a little further back. Like there. I don't know. Hopefully that's a good spot. I guess I'll check later if that's like meant to... That's where it's meant to go. But what is this? Oh, that's the nose. Okay, well, we should put that in. I'm gonna hide the rest of the face though, because it's gonna get so messy. Okay, so that sort of goes under the eye from the looks of it. Except I hate that it keeps trying to flip the bones to the, like, crisscross the bones. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't want it to do that, but it's doing it. Oh, see, this is, okay, this is gonna be a little tricky because the nose is not anatomically correct. But I think I know where this should all go. I think that should go there. Oh, yeah, that's what I want. I hope that comes up high. Oh no, it's crooked. No, she's got a deviated septum now. Oh, no, I don't want that. Gabi, no, you haven't been through that much yet. Do not break your nose, please. Can't afford to have you in the hospital again. You need to stay in good shape, Gabi. All right, I hope that's where it's meant to go. I guess I'll check back with the default placement in just a moment. Yeah, that comes out too far. I think that looks all right. Let's look at the default human. Let's look at the NPC's nose and how that's set up. So that, okay, so it's meant to come up. It's meant to come up to like this corner. So I got that wrong. It's meant to come up to like there. But then where does that? Oh, okay. So that means this has to come up higher, like there, and that has to go like there. Yeah, that's better. So how high does the bridge of the nose go? I think I need to have it higher. So it has 1, 2, and that connects to the thing. So how many do I have? 1. Okay, so that has to connect. I gotta bring back all of these bones, because this should be touching this. There we go. We got it. We got the nose. The sleep paralysis, Steven. No. Yeah. Weirdly enough, I had my first, like, maybe it was like a year ago, I had like my first sleep paralysis experience. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's a bit terrifying. But I woke up eventually. I don't know, maybe I didn't. Maybe this is all a dream. I'm just gotta think where this is meant to connect. Okay, so there's 2 bones here that are meant to connect. Oh, I think that's meant to come up higher, this bone. I think those, no, that doesn't look right. Are those meant to touch? So he's got the up bone, and then it goes in and then up, and then it touches the eyebrow and then the underneath bit. All right, is that gonna work on mine? Because the shape of the face might not allow me to do that. Well, let's hide I gotta hide the bits that are distracting. Oh. Did I hide too much? No. Oh. Get out of the way. There we go. Let's hide the mouth. I don't need that on. So, now that I can see a bit better, I think this is meant to like intersect somehow, like that. But this looks awkward as hell. Like that does not look right at all. It's because of the anime proportions. Oh, yeah, that might not work. That might not work because if those bones like go around like this, I can just see it right now. There's gonna be issues. So maybe I have to move this over. Yeah, okay, that's a bit nicer now. That plays a bit better. It's just because the mouth is so small. That's why it's like the bone shouldn't be coming across that far, but because it's well, oh no, maybe this does need to come down a bit though, admittedly. Yeah, this needs to come a bit further. Okay, I think that's all, that's good. I think I like that. Now we gotta get the forehead in. Oh, I'm out of coffee already. God damn, I'm so thirsty. Hey, Mick Rooney. Very late? Well, yeah. You haven't missed too much. We're just doing bones. Yeah, sleep paralysis is a weird feeling, isn't it? Yeah, in my experience, I was well, because the thing is, because I sleep up there, right? I don't know if any of you've seen what my room looks like, but yeah, there was like a while, I keep forgetting about this, but there was like a while back, some like magazine interviewed me about my room, And like they did a whole article about it because I like posted it on Reddit once in battle stations because I am obsessed with keeping my room clean. And I thought, oh, maybe some people would get ideas from this. And yeah, some person did a write-up about it. But in the pictures, it's depicted that I like sleep above my desk just because it's efficient space. And when I was like had sleep paralysis, I'm like I wake up but I can't move, and I have this suspicion, like I swear that there is someone in the room. But because I can't visibly see anything except the ceiling, I don't know where it is. And I'm thinking there is someone in my room because something's off. Like I can hear a noise like coming from under the bed where my desk is. Someone's sitting at my desk, except I can't see it because I'm on top of the desk. And I didn't know what to do, and so I couldn't, like, I was like wanting to like think, oh well, if I like I should do something, but then part of me's thinking I should just pretend to be asleep so they don't kill me. So I just didn't move for like an hour, and I remember just hyperventilating a lot. It was really weird. And then yeah, like I get out of bed an hour later and there's like nothing there, and I'm like, oh. And then I Google it, and it's like, oh, that's called sleep paralysis. And I'm like, oh, great, fantastic. That was that was so great. More, please. But yeah, I think it's extra spooky when you have a loft bed and you can't see your room. I think that it becomes extra scary because it's like you're doing threat detection, but you have no perceptive ability at all because your entire field of view is the roof, and that's it. So someone could come in here and try and delete my project files for all I know. Someone could be doing that at night. They might break in through the window and come in, and they'd be under here, and I would not see them. That could happen. So you know, it's terrifying. It's really scary. But I don't know. I haven't had that happen again since. Mostly because I don't sleep that much, so that's probably why. But you know, if that's the cost of not having more demons come from the darkness to steal my project files, then that's a small price to pay for salvation. All right, I think the forehead looks like it's in the right spot. Was there any other? Oh, the ear. Okay, so here's the thing. All right, I've been getting asked this a lot. Why does Gabi have human ear and cat ear? Here's why. Real Gabi, canon Gabi, does not have human ear. But at the moment, I've actually lied to you this whole time. This actually isn't Gabi. This is a 3D model that will become Gabi. And with the way I do stuff, my workflow, I try to be very recyclable. I don't like having waste. So what I ended up doing, making this model, is that I didn't make Gabi, I made a anime humanoid female, which, because of how generically I've tried to do it, I can turn it into a humanoid male if I want, or I can turn it into another humanoid character. Like I can use this with her features and stuff. That's why her ear and her tail and her hair is on separate meshes, because this actual mesh here is just a humanoid mesh. And the idea is, if I ever need to make more characters, I can just, instead of having to start over from scratch and spend a whole week making a new base model, I can use the generic humanoid base model I've already made and modify it. So if I wanted to turn this model into Felix, for instance, which I will likely do at some point, I can just basically take off all of Gabi's like features, like her tail and stuff, because that's all separate. I can just remold the body into Felix's body. And it's not easy, but it's easier than starting from nothing. Because it will mean I have to re-rig it, redo the normals, redo the textures and stuff. But there's a lot I won't have to redo. Like for the face, for instance. If I wanted to make this Felix's face, all I would have to do is change the eye color. And then I'd have to like maybe change the proportions a little. Make the forehead a bit bigger. But the UV map I don't have to change. And the texture, I just need to change the eye color and the hair color. And that's it. instead of having to make a new head, which is a lot more cost efficient. So that's why I modeled in ears, human ears on her, because later on I might need them. I'm not going to need them for Gabi, but it's good to have them anyway. So what I am going to do, keeping in line with that logic, is I'm going to put these ear bones in place so that if I, you know, that's all kind of there and ready to go if I need to make another humanoid that isn't Gabi. Because that's the interesting thing with Gabi, is that she's got a lot of like bespoke, unique features that other characters might not have. Now this won't work for every character. Only works for humanoids. For example, if I wanted to turn Calder into a 3D model, I would have to do a complete custom thing for that. That will not work. There's nothing I can salvage from this this model for him, but I can at least, you know, do some stuff with it. Or if I had another project I did later, like if I want to do another anime project with a different character, like I could use this as a base as well. So it isn't just in the scope of the project either. It can be used for a lot of things. So that's one of the reasons why it's like, I don't know, I guess, because part of me does think maybe I've put too much effort in, but also it means I probably will never have to make a new anime model again. If I can make this like good enough, like I probably won't have to, unless there's some fatal flaw I end up finding later, which hopefully that I'm hoping that is less likely to happen now that I've done it like this. But yeah, that is my logic. That is my thought process of why Gabi temporarily has human ears for the time being. But yeah, so yeah, it is a bit weird. It means that there is a bit of extra work, because I didn't have to model these ears for Gabi, obviously, but it means that I don't have to like make a completely new head for like another character, which I have to weigh up, like, which one do I want to do? Do I want to spend the extra 2 hours to give Gabi human ears now, or do I want to spend 2 days making a new head in 6 months? And it's like, yeah, I think I'll take the human ears now, please. I might as well do that now, you know? That's the attitude I try to have. I try to think, what's the long term? Is this gonna like, will I benefit long term if I take a bit of extra time now? And most of the time, it's usually yes. 99% of the time, it is yes. So. So what I'll end up doing is I'll probably end up copying these bones for her cat ear later. Except, there's something about the placement of the bones that seems kind of off. I feel like that should be further back. Let me just look at where these connect. Okay, so that bone has to be where it connects. I think I've got it. Yeah, okay, I've got it in the same spot. Yeah, that looks a bit like it follows a bit better. Now, I don't know what the bone roll on these is supposed to be. Okay, it looks like there isn't much roll, so I'm going to clear the roll. Zero that out. Oh. I think I changed the length by accident. All right. Mr. Backseat says, seeing her with human ears makes my artist side angry. Well, I know, but guess what? You're never gonna see them. Well, except on stream. But yeah, there's a reason. Well, wait, no, wouldn't it make your artist side happy? Because this means I have to do less, like, I don't get it. What are you trying to say? Because I'm the artist making the model, and I'm happy that I put ears in because it's gonna save me time. I don't understand. What does that mean? I think my gamer side would be angry because I'd be like, no, that's not lore accurate. She's meant to have one ear. That gamer me would be angry seeing this, but I ignore I tell gamer me to be quiet, and I let artist me give her these ears for later. I'm gonna take them away though. Don't worry. I'm gonna slice them off soon, one day. Once I like have sort of because the thing I want to do is I also, like, I want to keep it as generic as possible until the last minute. That's the idea. So that's why I'm taking this all through, even to rigging, because then it's like, all you have to do then at that point is that you've got now this humanoid, which you can reuse, and all you have to do to make this Gabi is just to delete one part of the model, and that's it. And then you can, like, and if I do need to use it for something else, if I continue as I'm going now, then if I need to, like, another humanoid with a rig, I've already got one that has an ear rigged on it, you know? So that's like, that's sort of the, yeah, that's the idea. I think that's all, it's almost everything, except the eyes. Now the eyes, I will be 100%, the way I did the eyes on the last model were bad. And I don't really understand how Rigify wants me to use eyes. Because I might have to do my own thing, because it does not work the way I want. But again, this was a few years ago though. So I know that Rigify has had some updates. I don't know if they're still doing eyes the way they were doing them when I last used it. If they are, I might have to come up with my own, like, solution. Because you can't, it's really difficult to do anime eyes with, well, at least I found it the case. I don't know if it's been changed, but I remember it being a bit difficult. Hopefully, I don't know, I can come up with something. Because it's mainly to do with the iris, the bit of the eye that moves. Because for whatever reason, I'll get old Gabi open again to show you in a moment. Why can I not move? I just want to move this joint. I don't want to move the whole thing. There we go. All right, there we go. That's what I want. Okay. Well, where should that? Okay. So that should be the bottom. That should be further down. Oh. Can this not glitch out? There we go. All right, that's probably as good as we'll get. Now, it comes down to this part. That's where it gets annoying for me, and I'll show you why. And there's other issues I still haven't quite figured out how I'm going to solve, because this is like Unreal problems. Because I've noticed that Unreal, when you import a rig into Unreal from Blender, it isn't exactly the same. It does stuff to it. And sometimes it breaks things, and that's something I have yet to solve. But I'll show you why the old eyes were a pain. Because this was, they might have changed it slightly, but this was what Rigify, this was like 2019 Rigify, using the eyes. So it gives you like these controllers, I think. But it doesn't, you think that this would like move the iris, but it doesn't. Like, I weight painted it all and everything, and it doesn't really, like... It just moves the socket for some reason. Don't know why. Like, it moves the sockets around, which I don't understand why it was doing that. Maybe it's... I don't know. If I scale them... Okay, it doesn't even close the eyelid when I scale them, so that's a bit irritating. So what I had to end up doing... I don't think I can actually move the... No, I don't think I can actually even move the irises in this one. Or maybe if... I know that there are certain bones... I don't know, I could have sworn that I did make it so that you could move it. No, yeah, so you actually can't move them. I think that, yeah, that was the issue, is that you can't move the irises at all. Except, when I exported these animations to Unreal, the irises would move. They would move randomly. Sometimes they clip into the back of her head. Sometimes they would look up or go cross-eyed. It was really weird. I don't know how or why that happened yet, but I guess we'll find out as we continue going. Because I would expect this bone would be responsible for moving the eye, but this has the same bones and it doesn't do that. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do about it, but I just want to like at least see if it still does that, and if it does, then I'll try and come up with my own like thing to do, because there's a specific way I want the eyes to work. I want to be able to move the iris, and I want to be able to close the eyelid, and yeah, I don't need the whole socket to like naturally move. I don't need that, because that's not how anime works. So I don't need that. But I do need to be able to move the eye. So that's probably why a lot of our other, like, older animations look a bit weird, because her eyes do not move, because they literally cannot move. So it's a bit of a weird problem I had. So, okay, now we've got the face bones in place. Oh, oops. There we go. So we got the face bones pretty alright. Well, there's probably a bit of tuning I have to do. Like, I don't know exactly how far back some of these bones should reach. Actually, no, I think I do. No. I know what to do. These bones correspond, because I forgot what these little bones here did. On the top and bottom, these correspond with the teeth. So I just got to line them up with where the teeth are. I remember now. They gotta line up with the teeth. So they need to go back a bit further. I tell you, yeah, hold on. It might be a bit easier if I just have the teeth on their own. Yeah, there we go. All right, now I can see. So these are her teeth. Check those out. Oh, I forgot. There's something I was gonna add and I totally forgot about. I was gonna add fangs. That's what I forgot. I knew I forgot something. When I was modeling these, I remember thinking like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow, and then I forgot. And I remember I'd forgotten something. She's meant to have, well, I'll add that later. I can add that later. She's meant to have little cat fangs. I totally forgot to add those in. But let's just get the bones. We're focused on bones today. Except, should these... Yeah, they should stay at the top of the guns, I reckon. Ah, well, at least I remember now. I knew there was something missing. I was like, oh, it was bothering me. It was like a brain splinter. I knew there was something going on. There was something I was missing, and I was like, what on earth? I thought I did everything. Could have sworn, but no. So that, I mean, that's how they look anyway. They're all colored in. And those bones look good. All right. I can finally move on from there. I think I'm happy with that. Now, there is a... Well, here's where it gets a bit... There's a bit more. There's a bit more. So, she has a tail. I think I might have a rig for that already. Yes, I happen... It looks like I do. I totally forgot I made this, but she does have bones for a tail, which I have not... Well, here's the challenge. Here's what okay, because I tried doing something a while ago. I was trying to, when I was first doing her rig, I tried to make it so that I remember, I think I might have talked about this in the devlog I made about it, because the biggest issue was like Frankensteining the rig together so that it was all one. Because what I don't want is I don't want her being made up of like 5 different skeletal meshes, because that is like... the less skeletal meshes you have in Unreal, the better. So I'm very, very strict on that when I export her out, it's going to be one rig with one mesh with one material, because that is like the most optimal thing. But you have to sacrifice some stuff to get that. And one of the things you have to sacrifice is like that modularity I was trying to go for that I mentioned, like having a generic humanoid, like all that stuff. That starts to kind of fall apart when you want to do stuff like this, where some characters have certain bespoke pieces. And I think I might be able to do it in one whole thing, because I did it here, but I did it in the weirdest way. But I have a game theory, now that I know how kind of Rigify works a bit more, I have a game theory that if I can like, I might be able to successfully piece the rigs together and generate it as one. But I have to not be like stupid about it. I have to be thoughtful about it. And the reason I believe that is because from my understanding, as I've been studying Rigify, the way it works, and I've just noticed I've got the spine bone in the wrong spot. I'll remove that. That's in the wrong place. And this, actually, wow, this is all wrong, this whole spine. I thought I had done, all right. I guess I didn't look at it from this side, because it's all wrong from this side, so I'll do that, and then I'll explain what I'm trying to do. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to have it so that I can, because the way these bones work when you generate them is that when you create a Rigify preset, it's just normal bones, but the bones have specific like metadata and tags on them that a script reads and converts them into like a more advanced bone. That's what it does. So my theory is, I've got the humanoid and I've got a tail meta rig, and I've done those separately at the moment. I've got the meta rig for the tail right here, and I've generated that as a proper rig. So I'm thinking if I can join the tail meta rig to a specific spot on the humanoid meta rig, then if I hit generate once, it should generate all of that stuff. But something tells me it won't work. The voice in my head is telling me it won't work. But I like to argue with the voice in my head a lot and say, well, why not? And then I'll try it. So I want to put that to the test. And I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. And there's something else I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting something. I am forgetting something. Well, I'll tell you what. I know there's something I'm forgetting. Like, it is not coming to me right now. But what we'll do, I want to see if just this will work. That's probably a smart thing, because there's a lot I could try and do, but I think it's probably a good idea to see if this will actually work on its own first. So let me just make sure the bone roll hasn't been screwed up. Because I know this will have problems already. So let's at least try and get that out of the way. So to turn this, I'm gonna use my magic spell now. We're gonna do a bit of magic, do a bit of sorcery. To turn this into a rig, we're gonna do some witchcraft. We're gonna go over to this big button that says generate, and we're gonna press it. And I'm gonna cast my spell with, do I have a wand? I do. I'm gonna cast my spell, and it's gonna turn into a beautiful rig. Come on. Let the spell cook, guys. Let it cook. It's cooking. You see that hourglass? That means the spell's cooking. I gotta focus my wand on it. I gotta stay focused on it. It's like the final battle of Harry Potter. I gotta. Okay, there we go. It works. See, I told you. And all of this just works. Well, that remains to be seen. Okay. So this is how that new rig will look. And already, There's stuff I don't like. The hips are in the wrong place. That's one problem. I think I know how to solve that though. Let's actually let's test this baby out. Let's see just how flawed the spell might have been. So I'm gonna clear, because I have it parented to a different rig right now. And same with this. I have to clear parent. So if I take these two and go automatic weights, and I already know what I'm gonna do for this one. Actually, wait. I can just change this to humanoid rig, because this doesn't have any weight paints on it yet. We'll get to that a bit later, because we won't just ignore the ear. We're not going to worry about the ear right now. I'm going to worry about everything else. All right, okay, the arm still seems to work nice. Still way better than the old model. Great. But let's have a look at will the fingers work? Will they, oh, okay. They've changed the way they do fingers. This is different. I haven't used these controls. Oh, okay, this is kind of cool. So I can like bend, all right. Is that all these do? I feel like I should be able to like do something with these. These look like slide, oh dear, no. No. Okay, how do I bend them? I was like, what? I feel like these have like a curve. These have a property on them called curvature, and I don't know what they do. I feel like it should bend the finger, but it doesn't. What if I try and? Oh, I don't. No. Okay. I know what these bones are meant to be, but they aren't gonna work the way I want. Oh, and we've got. Oh. Uh-oh, we got a vertex there. That's not right. What I want, let's go to old Gabi, because this is how it used to look with Rigify, and you'd have these orange rings, and it would bend the finger into a fist like that. But I don't. These are green rings. These are different, and it won't bend the whole finger. I want it to bend the whole finger. What if I turn up curvature? Maybe that's what it has to be like. No, that doesn't do anything. All right, well, we've got some issues. Does this work? Oh. I mean, kind of, but also not really. Not really. I think this might have to come down a little further, that bone. I mean, it's like, it's not all terrible, but it needs work. And I need to figure out how I can bend, and her thumb is huge. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna have to remodel the thumb. I didn't realize how big the thumb was. Her thumb is massive. Oh my God. Oh, well, not really though. Like, that's proportionally correct. I don't know why it looks huge when it's like at that angle. I don't know what the deal is. Why does it look so massive? But then if I rotate it like forward, it's like correct. Like that's sort of how it should be. That's anatomically correct. But I don't know why it looks so big. I don't get it. Why? Okay, let's try and... Okay, I don't like this. I don't like... This needs work. The bone roll is all wrong. Well, let's see if I can... If I rotate by normal. Okay, now that bone roll's fine. It's just... I don't like that I can't just rotate all of the fingers. Like, I want that. I don't know why that's not a thing. It used to be a thing in 2019, but now it's not. That's unfortunate. Because I do not want to have to animate her each individual little thing to bend. But if we just pay attention to the weights and stop my complaining for a moment, it's actually not, it's like alright. Like the topology on the fingers is playing very, very, very nicely, mostly very nicely with the bones. Like the way that these fingers bend is pretty good. I've been waiting. You have no idea how long I've waited to bend her hands like this, finally, to relax them. Yeah, let's just to play around. Let's like do a relaxed sort of hand pose. Cause she's been having to stick them up like that for like a month or two now. Let's allow her to finally like rest. But yeah, no, I there has to be some way to like use these to like bend the whole hand up, because like what's the point of these otherwise? Like what is the actual point of having these if they don't bend the entire finger? Oh wait, it did. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, so that's what I know what curvature does now. It doesn't do what I was expecting, but it basically makes them like SpongeBob fingers, like where they're all kind of like all bendy. So I don't want that. It's cool, but I don't want it. I want them to be very like angular. Let me reset the rotation. Let's like make. I wanna see how far I can take this. I want to make a very delicate pose with these. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I'm sure there has to be a way though to get the thing I want. Yeah, look at that. So now the hands don't look so weird after all. And I was saying, this was a few streams ago now, I remember saying that the hands have a lot of personality. You can get a lot of personality out of the hands. Because me personally, I don't know, I love hands. Hands are awesome. I love drawing them. There's something about hands, like because here's my vision for this, right? Once I have everything all in operation. The idea is, because when I animate her, I want her hands to have expressions. Because I think that the hands really do affect like the pose of everything. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like Spider-Man, right? Whenever you see like a comic drawing of Spider-Man, he's always got like massive, out of proportion hands where the fingers are like all flexed out like that. And that's character. People might not think so because it's just hands, but I think the way you pose a hand says something about the character. And I really wanted that to come across in this model because I personally, like, I pay a lot of attention to how hands are posed in other characters I look at. And I'm like, well, I want to have mine to that sort of same standard where I can get that across in the hands. Because like, imagine her running pose, right? In fact, I've done this a little bit already. In, is there an example I can show? Like, one of my stickers, which you can get linked down below, by the way. You see this? I know it's a bit low res. Trust me, the real sticker is not low res. In fact, you know what? I have the physical sticker. I'll show you. I'll just show you the real one because it's like not pixelated as hell. But I'll show you what I mean. So, you see this one at the bottom? Oh, you see that? Please focus. Please focus. Please focus. Yeah. So you see that hand? That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, imagine if that was just like a generic T-pose straight hand. The pose wouldn't look as cool, right? But you can kind of see I do pay a lot of attention to the hands. And like, oh, some of these you can't see her hands in. But this one as well, that hand behind her, I wanted that to be open because it looks cool. And it's like, you know, it's you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. It's if the hands do not match, it looks kind of like lifeless to me. To me, it's like a lot of character there. Like even here right now, when we've just posed just this, she already kind of looks a bit less like a mannequin and more like a person with muscles, with tension, with, you know, with a posture. That's what it is. That's the word I'm looking for. Posture isn't just the spine. A lot of people, when they talk about posture, it's always like, oh, how does she stand? Is her neck straight? It's not just that. The hands too, they're part of it. I don't know. I think so anyway. So when I get to be able to do stuff like this, I think it's so cool. That's why I love doing this bit. Now, I'm probably going to have to think a bit about how I want her hands to sit, because I have a lot more control, and once I get the rig to work the way I want, I'll be able to have lots of very convenient control over how this will work, because her old hands are a bit more difficult to pose, but because the fingers are a bit more easy to work with, they won't clip into each other as much. I have a bit more like yeah, let's do an extreme pose. Let's do like an action extreme, something very extreme. Like this is sort of relaxed. Let's do something very not extreme like that, but let's do like a, if she's in action running, what would her hand look like? Now, I know the vertex painting is going to need some adjustment still, but ignoring that, just imagining that the weights are fine. Because what I would want is that I would want those fingers sort of like flexed up. Because what I was thinking about it, sounds like a weird thing to think about, but I think these little details do matter. And the thing I was thinking is how do I want her hands to kind of, what's the feel? What's the posture? How should they look? Because I know that for some characters, they'll have like very dainty, delicate hands, and some have very like masculine, muscly hands. And I haven't quite decided exactly where I want to draw the line for Gabi. I think I want to see if I can do something kind of in the middle of like delicate but also tough, because she needs tough hands for the work she does. But I don't want them to be like masculine hands. I want there to be a bit of like feminine flair to them at the same time. So that's gonna, I don't know how that's gonna look, but I'm excited to try that out. So some of that flair is gonna be like, you know, because at least I've noticed my, what do you call it? I've noticed anyway, because my hands are not very flexible. I can kind of bend them. I've seen people that can bend them like really high. And I noticed that like that kind of flexibility, I see that when I see feminine hands drawn, they have more of that flexibility to them. Because it could be because they're just less bulky. That could be why. So that's my theory anyway. So I want to have a bit of that, have some, you know, flexible joints. Like maybe I do something like this. I don't know. That's not quite looking right there. That looks a bit too much. So I don't know. But, you know, I can do that stuff now. That's the point. And I can have it go like this with that bone, which is cool. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. I like being able to do that. So if we look at that without all the bones in the way, I'll get the outline on too. Yeah, like that. It's a little crooked, but it's, you know, with a bit of work, with a bit of weight paints, that'll come right out. We can do some stuff with it. So let's reset that, because I haven't looked at the rest of the rig yet. We haven't looked at the rest, because there's probably going to be some issues. Oh wait, sorry, I had my face cam on. Sorry. Look, I'm in the zone, okay? I'm focused. Sometimes I don't pick up on that. But I'll undo it so you can see what I was doing. Like, that's what I had it. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. It's still a bit jank, but, you know, we can do stuff like this. That's the idea. Yeah, because look, I have a lot of stuff open. I don't have my Streamlabs thing. I've got research here, I've got chat here, I've got the model here, so I don't, yeah. But you can see it now. Thanks. Javier says you can, you know, guys that can bend their fingers to touch the back of their palm? Well, that's scary. That's terrifying. I will never be able to do that. Can Gabi do that? Let's see. Oh, I don't want to. I almost don't want to do it. Can she do that? Oh, no, it's over. She's broken her finger. It's good. No, she's not that flexible. One thing I do like, we have got a bit of a victory on our hands. This is something that you wouldn't even think to notice, but the arm bends the right way. You have no earthly idea how difficult it is to do that. Because when I was first making the rig, the arm was bending this way. That's the way the arm was bending when I first made the rig. But now when I auto-generate it, it's actually going the right way. So that's actually that's a lot of work I'm gonna have to not do to fix because it just works. So that's fantastic. So I might move the arm in some cool pose just to kind of like, I don't know. If I hyperextend, what did I do? No, Gabi, no, don't stretch. Don't stretch that much. Don't show them your true power. So if I rotate her arm like that, because yeah, this is where, I've said this a few times and I'll say it again. All of the weird topology that everyone was making fun of me about, this is where it pays off now. This is the payoff. It's a slow burn, but this is like the long-term result of this working. So that bends pretty nice. What else? Oh, because I want to try the other. I don't want the fingers. I just want the hand. There we go. I want to see if I bend her arm, like her elbow. The elbow is actually not terrible because I was expecting this part of the elbow to go completely crazy, but it's actually not. Like that's kind of what I want. So the cool thing is, because I spent like maybe like what 2-3 weeks before I started the model. I spent like 2 or 3 weeks researching like all of like this stuff, and it was a lot. But what was I trying to say? I completely forgot what I was trying to say. What was I trying to say? I totally forgot. Why did my brain just forget? I was gonna make like this cool point about, I don't even remember now. Anyway, I don't remember what I was gonna say. Something about the arm. Oh no, yeah, the topology. That's what I was gonna say. It's because they have like specific rules on how to topologize joints, and I followed that very closely. And I guess the cool thing is that yes, it's unconventional, but also it means you can just chuck auto weights, and it like 99% is like there, which is really cool. So I don't think I'm gonna have to do any weight paints on the elbow because it looks fine to me anyway. The underarm looks fine. Like you see this. Remember how I modeled in this like weird seam, and I didn't really understand why it needed to be there, but I knew it had to be there, and I couldn't explain why. But if I remove this, yeah, you see this sort of weird twist, that kind of thing, like that the way that sort of twists around the arm. So all of that, it lets you make it so that it actually kind of like deforms like the muscle would. So if I try and move the shoulder to be a bit more like natural, because that's how you see how it kind of pinches there. Like that's exactly what would happen, right? Like it sort of pinches in like that when you move your real arm. So yeah, so this is cool for me to show, because when I started modeling this thing, I knew that kind of stuff, like there was these levels of things going on, but I was kind of going in blind because I still had to learn it. So I probably couldn't do the best job at explaining it. I just had to say, trust me, bro. Basically, that was kind of my only argument, is that I knew that it would like work, but I couldn't show you why yet. But now I could show you why, because the rig exists. And that's how the topology actually ends up working in action, in context. I think that's kind of it. It's just the lack of context when you're still making it. But now there's context. We got the rig. We can see how it works. So I don't know where I'm gonna move. I just want to leave this hanging somewhere like that. She's like DJing. Hello. We need the record scratch. There we go. You have no idea how long I've waited to do that. Oh, anyway. Well, yeah, she's got the other arm up. She's pumping it. She's yeah, she's pumping the tunes. Now the legs. These, I think these are gonna be broken. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. This always happens. They always bend the wrong way. Always. I knew this would happen. It's happened on the last time. And the hips are a bit of a mess. And they're still going to be a bit of a nightmare. So that, oh, I mean, they're a little better. They are a little bit better, but they're not great. And these hips, I think, they might be too high. What about the face? We haven't looked at the face yet. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot better, but it could be a lot worse. So that's going to be probably where I spend the rest of my week is going to be on this. What about the eyes? See, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Hopefully I can fix this with weights. But it won't move the iris for whatever reason. And then there's this little bone, which moves the entire eye. Okay, so that's gonna need a definite adjusting. All right, so I should make a list. I need to make a list of stuff to look at. Fix finger bending, because I want to be able to bend them all like that. Fix face. Fix I mean, yeah, basically fix everything. That's kind of it. Leg IK direction. That's something. Because I'm getting really hungry and I don't know how much long I want to go. I'm so hungry. But I hate not finishing stuff at the same time. What about the ears? Okay, the ears are not terrible. Yes. I'm gonna have to like really... Yeah, some of this is gonna be really difficult. I mean, this part is alright. That isn't bad. What about I haven't checked the feet yet. Do those work? Okay, those, oh no, those are, oh, ouch. Okay, I must have done something wrong, because the bones look like they are in the wrong place, almost. Unless that's just the IK up there acting up, which maybe it's the IK, maybe if I fix that, it'll fix this. But that doesn't look right. The heel is contracting too much. Does the leg twist though? No, probably not. But it will if I try and fix the IK direction. So yeah, so here's where it gets kind of tricky, right? Is, let me reset all this. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking. You just go, Ray, just go to the meta rig and just move the knee forward. And you can't do that with the Arc System Works workflow because the bones have to be exactly where they are. So you can't do what you normally do with Rigify, because this is what I used to do. I just want to change the view to bring this in front real quick. I keep forgetting where it is. In front, there we go. And then I'll get the meta rig back, because I know what everyone's probably thinking. It's just like, oh, we'll just like move it there, and it's like, normally, yes, you could do that, but if you're doing the Arc System Works standard, you can't do that. You have to, like, you can't. There's a lot of reasons why. I have a whole slideshow's worth of reasons why, Just trust me. That's all you gotta know. But the bones, they explain why they have to be in a certain spot. So the trick here is not to move the bone, because that is not gonna solve it. That's gonna make things worse. You need to make it so that the IK, you have to explicitly tell the IK which way to bend. Now, here's where you fight Rigify. This is the final boss, because with Rigify, there is a little bit of way to tell it how to bend, but it's also very stubborn. So, from memory, I'm gonna try and fix this really quick, but I'm probably gonna have to spend a bit more time on it. But if I try and do this, there is a setting in the, I think it's the meta rig. I don't remember if it's the meta rig or if it's the actual rig. I can't remember. Oh, why? What? No, I don't want both of these rigs on. I just want this one. Yep. So, I don't remember exactly which one, but there's a certain thing you click on, and you basically tell it which axis. You can constrain the axis, but you don't really get that much control over it. I think it's probably the meta rig, I think. If I go samples, no. Bone groups, no. Layer names, no. I know it's in here. I know it's in here. Maybe it's in pose mode. I know it's in here. There's a little setting. Maybe it's in... Oh, yeah. Here we go. Rotation axis. Now, here's where it gets thing. It's gonna do automatic. Now, I don't remember which one I have to do. Let me consult the old rig and see which one of these it's meant to be. So how did I do it here? Oh, I did... No, there's no way I did automatic. No. What was I doing? Okay, well, let's just pick one and see what happens. We'll pick... Because I can't remember which way is which. So we'll just do that and regenerate. Wherever regenerate is. Where I've lost it now. Where's regenerate? Ah, regenerate. Okay. This probably won't work, but we'll try. Couldn't she move the, Ziggly says, couldn't she move the real rig's knee bone? Oh, it's not the bone placement. We can't move the bones. It's nothing to do with the bone placement. It's the IK constraint. That's the issue. That's what I'm trying to solve. And Blender's about to crash. But when Blender decides it wants to behave, the idea is it's something to do with bone roll. I know that has an influence, and it's like because when you make an IK manually, and it's been a while since I've done this, but from memory, when you make an IK manually, there is something you do where you have to essentially tell it which axis you want it to bend. And I don't remember it that well, because I haven't done it since the robot, the little drone robot. That was the last time I did it. And, yeah, you can basically, that is independent of bone placement. You can have the bones wherever, as long as you have the axis a certain way. I believe that's the idea. But with Rigify, things become more complicated. It isn't that simple with Rigify. So yeah, so it still doesn't work. Let's I'll save this before I crash it again. So I'll try Z instead, because I'm sure I probably got that wrong. Because here's the thing. I should probably turn on. There's a thing I could turn on. Axes. There we go. Z and X. So I think it's Z that we want. But sometimes it goes it does Z, but it does it the wrong way, because there's another option I want to be, but it doesn't show up. I'll try and... I keep losing the menu. I keep losing it. I know it's in here. I keep losing it. Oh, here we go. So I gotta be in pose mode. So X, Z manual. Now here's the thing that I want. Because some bones let you pick negative X or negative Z or negative Y or positive Y. But this one only gives you X and Z. Now, from memory, when I was trying to do this with the old rig, the Gabi's new test rig, when I was doing it with the low poly test rig, I think I had it on Z, and it would bend Z, but it would bend the wrong way. But X would make it bend sideways, I think. So I'm gonna... Let's make sure... Does it do that? Okay, it doesn't do it for both, so I gotta do it on... Yeah. So what it should do, if I regenerate this, what it's meant to do is that it should explicitly... It will not bend... I mean, it will stop it from bending sideways, but I don't think it's gonna make it bend forwards. But I know that you can. I almost got it to work once, but I cannot remember how. You guys actually would have seen it bending, and when I was doing the test rig, it was like a few weeks ago, and it was before it was twisting the leg. I did actually was able to get it to kind of work, but I had to do a lot of tweaking, and I'm trying to remember what I did. But for the meantime, if I regenerate this, let's see what'll happen. Because I know bone placement is like, you cannot move them. The bones have to be exactly where they are. The reason why bone placement is something I really do not want to touch is because while it's like an easy, convenient way to influence IKs. Yes, that is true. But with a lot of the stuff I've read, the reason why I even had a test rig at all was because for this, to do it this way, the topology and the bone placement have to work together. So it isn't just one of those things that has to be correct. The specific edge loops and topology around the bone and the placement of the bone itself and the shape of the model has to be exact. It has to be a certain way. So if I was to move... Oh, Blender, come on now. Please. Well, if I was to move the knee forward, what would happen is, yes, the knee would bend the right way, but it would rotate around the wrong axis. It would rotate around the wrong point. That's what would happen. Like if I was to move this forward, it would pinch the back of the leg too much if I move it forward, and the kneecap would look awkward. So because they say you have to have it in the middle so that it does close, and I've modeled the back of the knee very, very particularly so that there is a big gap so that it will have room to stretch. But it also needs to then fold the front of the knee over around it. And it has to be around this axis. It has to rotate around this axis. If it rotates further forward, it won't work. If it rotates further backward, it won't work. It has to rotate around the middle with the way I've modeled it. And that's I'll try and find more slides showing what bad bone placement looks like, because when you see bad bone placement, it's really, when you know what it looks like, it's very obvious. Like it looks jank. And that's the thing I'm trying to eliminate at all costs, is jank. That's the mission. Oh no. Okay, so Z is... No, that's even worse. That is even worse. Oh, no. So yeah, this is what I mean. So this is what I was trying to say. Is that... Because the thing is, you have to, when you're using Rigify, you have to play to Rigify's rules, but I also have to play the Arc System Works' rules. So this becomes very, 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 very tricky. So I'm gonna stick it. X manual was at least kind of on, not really, but the spirit was like, it was a little bit better with X, I think. Wait a minute, was it on X? Wait, did I have them set? No, did I have them set differently? Okay, no. All right, let's set them both to X. That doesn't make sense though. Z, because Z is pointing backwards, so I don't know what. Oh no, what? Maybe it was on X. Okay, Let me try it one more time. Maybe I did have it set on X. So anyway, what was I saying? Well, yeah, let me try and show you there, because they have a lot of screenshots showing bad bone placement. And I'm trying to dig, I gotta dig around through I have like 100 tabs. Let me just dig around. I know I've got some. Here's one. And yeah, so this isn't something I used to think, like, I'll admit, I never used to think about this stuff. I just thought, oh, well, the bones are like roughly correct. I'll just do it. But no, it's like, you gotta be real careful with this stuff. This isn't even weight painting, by the way. This is just bone placement. So this is what like correct bone placement will look like this. But if you have it slightly off, weight painting aside, the poses look off. That's actually one of the reasons why old Gabi looks jank, which I can't show because Blender's calculating the rig right now. But to dial this back to big picture it, when I started making this model, because the main purpose was that Gabi's current one had a lot of jank. It looked kind of off. Everyone thought it was the animation style, the choppy limited animation, but that is not it. I know it's not it because there are bigger, deeper problems than that. It just so happens that I'm the only one that's going to look at it long enough, because I have to work in this thing. I'm the only one that's going to look at it long enough to like figure it out. A lot of people think it's the animation style, but it's not it at all. It's the poses made from the animations. So some of you might have heard me say this before. Some of you that aren't joining the stream, you know what? While Blender is calculating, I'm just going to show you in game what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you in game. It's easier to show because a lot of it comes down to frame by frame, the pose. Does it look off? And if the answer is even slightly yes, that's what gets people to look at it and go, oh, it looks a bit off. Now, the thing I've learned is that a lot of people that will look at it at a glance, and they will not spend like 10 hours analyzing it like I would. So they'll look at it, they will not be able to successfully tell me why it's off, because most of these people are not 3D modelers. They're not going to be able to tell me why. They don't have to, though. That's my job. The point is that they will still know. They will not be able to explain why, but they will know. And my purpose with making the new model is basically to not just band-aid over the problem and try and make new animations or to smooth the animations out, because some people think that that's the solution, is to just make the animations 60 FPS, but that's not the solution. I'm going to tell you right now, that is not it, because it will still look jank with 60 FPS animations. Just for different reasons. It'll look jank for different reasons. The key problem with Gabi's old model, which I am trying to show if Unreal will open, is just that it's the whole model. It's really the whole thing. It's that everything is just a bit off. The anatomy is a bit off. And when the anatomy's off, when the topology's off, it makes the poses off. And if the poses are off, it makes the animations off. And it's cascading domino of jank, 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 jank. That's essentially what it is. So if I look at her running around in game, like, yes, the animations could use more polish, but imagine how much better the animations would look, still in the style, but if the model was anatomically correct, if I could pose her in ways that didn't break the rig, like this grind pose. I'm gonna see if I can pause the game in this grind. That she has a fast grind pose and a slow grind pose. If I can pause it right there, it's very zoomed in. So that's too zoomed in. Okay, that's a bit nicer. I don't want it like fish-eyed lens. I don't want it like that big. But you see how she just looks uncomfortable? Now, I don't think most people will pick up on this, because you're looking at most of the time you're looking at this in motion. You're not going to sit and pause and look at a frame. But the animations are made up of these. And if these are wrong, it's going to give you that impression that it's like, ooh, like, oh, there's just something about it. There's just something about it. And what it is, it's just the fact that she looks visibly uncomfortable because, you know, there's a cascading problems. Like her elbows don't bend right, her shoulders don't bend right. I wanted to have it. I think I do have. There's the jump animation. I'll see if I can get her to do that. Oh, Why is caps lock on? I want to unpause. Okay. It's very hard to try and pause it in mid. Okay, well, you can see her eyes vanish, so that's... But you see how she tries to move her arm up and forward? And when I'm doing it, and when she's doing it, it doesn't look remotely the same. For her, it looks very weird. And look at her hips. Her hips are, like, bending, like, upwards, which doesn't look good. But because you're seeing that in motion, you, the player, you don't see that. All you see is that there's something off. But unless you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't care that much of, like, to do this. Because unless you were to sit down and look at it frame by frame, which you shouldn't do. That's my job. I have to do that. But unless you do that, you won't be able to know exactly why that is. But you'll know. You'll know. It's the impression. It's all... you can see it even at a low, like... even at, like, a big picture level. So... And that's, like, kind of everywhere. It's like, it permeates. So is this rig finished? Okay, it's finished generating. Oh, the knee's still bending sideways. Oh, what? No, I had it set. No, I know I had it set right. I could have sworn. Well, anyway, when we do get that working, when it is working, what this will allow me to do, it's actually, I can show you right now. Not in this, but I'll get a picture and I'll show you exactly what I'm trying to say. Just give me like a second. I just gotta fish around. I gotta find a thumbnail I made. And if I open it, I'll show you what I mean. Oh, do I still have it? I hope so. Oh, please tell me I still... Okay, it's buried, but I've got it. I've got it. So, this was the thumbnail from the last stream. It's a bit... do I have the Photoshop? It's easier if I just get the Photoshop file open. Because I get the text out of the way and I can show you. Because the thing I'm very excited about, once I get the rig to work the right way, once I remove the brokenness from the rig, what I will be able to do is create poses that look more natural. Like this. This is still like this is just the work in progress. This isn't even like the finish. This was from last week. This screenshot of the model. You can see there's still heaps of clipping problems and stuff. But the idea is that if I tried to do this pose with the old model, it would not work with the old one because her singlet would be clipping into her skin, her knees would be bending outwards, her shoulders would not sit that way, and you just can't pull that pose off with a jank model. And I strongly believe that it is the poses that are gonna make this work. The cool, being able to make like poses that are like have lots of character in them. I think it comes down to having all of that stuff right. And the rig has a lot to carry, but it lets you, like I said, I could not do this pose. I couldn't bend her knees like that with the old model because it would break. Her tail would also stick out wrong in the old model. There's a lot of little details where it wouldn't work. So that's kind of where it all comes down to. Now, why I don't... The current issue is I have no earthly idea why... I've got it set to... I'll set it back to Z, I guess, because I thought I had it at Z. No, I do have it at Z. Yeah, so you see how Z's pointing that way, and the knee's bending sideways? See, this is where I get really frustrated with the Rigify, because you only get two options. You only get X or Z. That's all you get. Wait, what is the... Why is the tick box here different? Hold on. There's a tick box that is changed that I don't think I changed. Let me look at the default one. Okay, that has it. Separate IK toe is enabled. Okay. Oh wait, no. Let's scroll down further. What's this? Custom IK pivot. If I tick that on, I have no idea what that's going to do. I feel like it should give me more options if I tick that on, but I don't know. Let's try with that on and see what happens. If not, there's another thing I could probably try. So I'm going to regenerate. Well, yeah, so what I want to not do, because here's the thing. I've thought of that. I've thought of rotating the bone manually, but that is not easy. That you got to be very careful. What I did try doing that with the test rig, and it created this issue where the leg would twist around if you moved it, only if you moved it a certain way. Like if you moved it inwards, it would be fine. But if you tried to move the leg outwards and forwards, it would like twist. The leg would all like turn into a tornado. So there is a specific combination of like getting it to generate close enough and then manually tweaking it. But you gotta be real careful, because it can make it much worse if you do something wrong. So I just want to see what the best I can do at the moment with making absolutely sure that it's this setting. And if it's not, then it's like, all right, now I will go in and mess things around. Yeah, like with the Z-axis, yeah, I don't know. Well, at least now, once this... Is this... Oh, okay, it's finished. I thought it was gonna crash. Well, let's see. Because that way I can at least rest assured. Alright, well at least we've tried all of those options. Now, here's where rotating the leg, because now we're gonna try that, and I'll show you why this can get dangerous. Because what you have to do with Rigify, the way it works is, there's a lot of invisible bones that you don't see. The actual deform bones are these ones, I believe. These are the actual bones controlling the vertices. Everything else is like a controller. So it's only these bones that are actually getting exported to Unreal. But let's have a look at their rotation. If I can find it. Yeah. So, and let's compare it with the rotation of the... if I can just exit out of... Yeah. If I can exit pose mode, yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna look at how this is rotated, because what you'll probably notice, okay, well that looks, which way is Y? I can't see the Y. Okay, Y is facing down, because this leg will bend properly. This is actually rotated the same way. So maybe, I don't know, I gotta go in and check like the bone roll probably. Oh, where is it? There was a button that would show you the roll. Or maybe it's an edit. Yeah, it's in edit mode, I think. Okay, so the roll's all at 0. So we're just gonna go in, just 180 it. Look, and I've tried this a few times. This is probably going to break. But we might get lucky this time, who knows? We might have to rotate the other bones too. I have a suspicion we might. Oh, I didn't have X mirror on. No, hold on, I gotta do that again. Yeah, I wish this was easy. So if I do that, then there is an option to apply roll, I believe. I can't remember, there's a keybind for it, I can't remember what it was. I think it's Alt-R. Oh no, that's not what I want. Control A, Shift A, no. I don't know, I can't remember what it was. Well, yeah, well that'll happen. Maybe it's I think it's in pose mode. I have to apply... Oh, what is the keybind? I know it exists, I just can't remember it. I'm thinking of a Maya keybind, which is weird because I haven't used Maya in years, but every time I try and remember a keybind, I think of Maya. Oh, I know it's one of these buttons. Okay, Google time. Blender, apply, roll, keybind. Shift N? No, that doesn't, no. Oh, that's recalculate roll. Okay, well that doesn't, that feels like something that would only work in edit mode. Oh, gee, oh no, oh no. Go back, go back. Back. Shift N. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, this might not be what I want. Or... did that actually do anything? We'll do, which axis do I want? I think this one? Okay, that literally does nothing. No. I know there's something, it's like there's a combination of like pose mode. I remember, I think what I ended up doing was like maybe a week ago. I tried like rotating these all in pose mode, but that, it created more issues as well. I just gotta think. I gotta remember how to do it. Oh no, I think, yeah, okay. Now, this, I don't think this will work, but we'll see it anyway. Yeah, no, that doesn't, no. Because then, yeah, then there's all these other helper bones. This is where it gets really complex, because you have all of these helper bones, which you actually cannot select all of them at once. Like, you have to go in one at a time. You can't, like, apply all, which is a bit annoying. So this is, like, the thing that I got to work that was the closest, that still had issues, but at least had it kind of bending the right way, was going into each one of these individually and, like, rotating the roll to, well, I mean, they're all at 0 already. Like, because I remember having to set them to 0, but these are all at 0. So maybe if I have to, I don't know, maybe I have to do it the other way around. But it gets so messy, because then this this sometimes works. That's the thing. It doesn't always work. It sometimes works. So, and I have no idea how to know if it will, other than to try it out. But we'll see what we can do. Oh, see, yeah, and then selecting this is such a pain. Because you have to get all of them. You can't just get one. You have to get every bone. Because there are overlapping bones too. You have to get them all. And some of them will not... You have to like marquee select. You can't just click on them. You have to like drag select them for them to be selected. And then sometimes you have to go into the... like inside of the leg to be able to click on stuff. And is that... okay, there's only one bone there. Then there's this one that's like here. Which I've done that one. Then there's this one, which I've done. Then there's this. There's two that are intersecting with each other. Oh, there's the second one. We'll get that. Then there's a lower down. There's more. Now, yeah, so the weird thing is that this worked for the arms when I had issues with that. But they didn't work. They half worked for the legs, and that's the area I'm not, well, I guess we'll find out how I'm going to deal with that. Because yeah, we can't really get to weight painting until this is fixed. I don't know if I got them all. I think there's still one that I didn't get. Okay, no, maybe not. Okay, then I think I'll leave the feet alone. Now, what key did I... there's a key I press. Yeah, now it's going to twist the leg. Don't worry. We can solve that. I think you do this. Oh, it still doesn't work. Oh, yeah, no, then there's these bones too. I remember having to move these. So I'll do that. These sometimes will solve it. They sometimes won't. But like about 20% of the time when I've moved these, it has fixed it. And then another 20% of the time, it has made them bend sideways sometimes too, which is a bit annoying. And for whatever reason, I don't know why these are rotated so much. I would, like, the bone roll here is at 0, but I don't know why it's, why it's rotated. It's probably, oh, maybe if I, like, straighten them out like this. Okay, there we go. I want these to be perfectly straight. Now, well, wait a minute. I don't know if I got that right. I think I don't remember if I rotate. I gotta go back. I forgot if I did something. Because they have to face a certain way. Give me a sec. Oh, I can't go back. Oh well, we'll just leave it. All right. So then there's gonna be this big bone. Oh, I've lost it now. But you saw there was this big bone sticking out the back of the leg. If I move that bone I just moved, what should happen is that wherever it was should, yeah, now it's facing forward. Now, combined with what I've just done, I still don't, yeah, it still doesn't work. So that's the fun of rigging, is that it did work sometimes, it doesn't work other times. I think it took me like a day. When I was doing the first version, it took me about a day to work out and get the knee to like half work. But it's one of them, it's like the bit I hate the most. So yeah, that still doesn't do it. Let's check on the bone roll, because I don't know if it's tried to reset it or not. Because if we look at the... I don't know, I guess if we look at the... I mean, yeah, maybe it has cleared it. It could be the case. Okay, it has. I can't remember if that's meant to happen though. I think it's meant to, because the roll should not be, it should be 0 when it's like there, when it's normal, when it's resting. So that should happen, but it, how did I do that? Hold on, I gotta go look at I gotta look at how the last time I did it, because I did get it like half working. It's still not, like, it's still terrible, but it at least, oh Jesus. Wait, what? Hold on, what is it? Why is it moving that? That's a different skeleton. Oh dear, oh no. Oh no. This isn't weight painted. You can't weight paint one mesh to 2 skeletons. What? Oh no. Okay, let's get you out of there. Bye-bye. Okay, it had two armature. I knew I unparented it. You guys saw me hit unparent, but it still had it parented to the old rig. Okay, well, it's still broken, but it's like, okay, we don't have that having an issue now. But I gotta see how exactly I did these, because I know that they're... See, okay, well, the roll is at 180, but it still twists around weirdly, so I don't want to... We'll see. We'll just see what happens. I know this will not work, but this is the only thing to try. And yeah, we cannot move the bones. If we move the bones, it kind of ruins the whole thing. So we'll try -180 again. And if we keep it there, I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea to keep it there, but if that's what we have to do, then that's what we'll do. You gotta make sure you get... And yeah, the other annoying thing too is that if you try and adjust the rotation, the bones start moving. Like they start to move out of place gradually, which is also irritating. Like these 2 bones should be overlapping and they're not anymore. And there's probably more that I'm not even noticing, but there's like, yeah, it starts to... I remember spending like a whole few days trying to work this out earlier, and it was just, it's a bit of a nightmare. It really is. But if it does work, if I can get it to work, if I can get it to submit to my will, and I know I can because I've done it before, if I can do that, then animation will be much easier. I could try and create like a custom rigging plugin of my own, but that is going to take even longer, and I do not know how to code in whatever thing you have to do in what's it called? I don't know what script it is even for Blender. There's like a scripting language you have to know to be able to write this stuff in Blender, which that's just gonna take too long. So yeah, because then I lose track of which bones I've got, which I haven't, because they're all like overlapping. Okay, I think the upper leg is fine. All right, let's get you. But yeah, I can work it out. I know I could. I always end up working it out. It always ends up working eventually. You just gotta fiddle around with the right amount of stuff. Oh no, there's one more. I think. So yeah, these bones seem to be. They haven't moved the. Oh no, these bones. They haven't moved these around that much, but the upper leg, like the whole bone, the bones there are a bit like these bones have been moved around. Like, and I didn't move them. It just does it for some reason when you try rotating the leg. So now, let's save it. So now the leg looks, yeah, that's how that looks now. I'll make sure I get, yeah, you gotta, because there's two overlapping ones here, you gotta make sure you get them both. And then I think it's just a matter of like applying it as a rest pose. So the legs are actually going to be like, this is why I'm not, yeah, it still breaks. But when it does work, it's still not really ideal. Because it's essentially, the legs are basically being stickied on backwards. That's what you're basically doing. And I don't like that. I mean, yeah, evidently it does. That is not a perfect solution because the old rig still had issues with the legs, with twisting them and stuff. So that's why that won't work anyway. So, So yeah, trying to like rotate the roll, yeah, that's not gonna work. Unless, all right, there's another thing. I didn't want to. I mean, it should do the same. It should be the same, but I'm gonna start over and regenerate this and try one more thing. I think I ended up. I don't know. It was like a week or two ago now. I can't remember, but there was. Oh, where's the button? I just want to start over. For the life of me, cannot find it. Oh no, it's in the meta rig. Because there's something I did on the arms that might work, which I will also try. So I'm gonna regenerate it. Because yeah, I think I must have. The bones have moved around too much. I might as well just start fresh. Let's give it a sec. What I'm going to try doing now, instead of using bone roll, which I don't know, that sometimes works, but I'm going to try and like just rotate stuff, like using the, what do you call it? The thing that rotates it. Oh, come on, Blender. it has, I think it has gotten slower at doing this. It didn't used to take 15 seconds. It used to take 2 seconds. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, this is getting worrying. This is getting a bit concerning. Blender, please. Just do that. Just regenerate the rig. I'm only asking you to do one thing. Just please. Please. Come on. Wow. Feels like it's been like at least 30 seconds now. Oh, maybe it's because it's got the face. That could be why. Because there's probably most of the bones are probably in the face. It could be why it's taking longer. Man, this is like PS3. The PS3 level. Okay, finally. All right. So this is still gonna, this is now, at least we're at a level where I can, it is predictably broken. What we're gonna now try, there's a certain bone, if I take this bone, and all of the, there's all of these like twist bones, and this is where it gets, this is also, I'm disclaiming now that this is also likely to not work. But it's complicated, so I'm just going to try and do it, and I'll explain later why it won't, why it might not. But there is also a small chance it might, so that's why I'm going to do it. We should not have to do it this way. We should be able to use roll, but that doesn't work. Now here's where it gets tricky. Here is that you've got all these like adjusting, like these little these stretch bones, which I will use, but you have to. Oh, wait. Did I? No, something's... Oh. No, this... No. This... It looks like it's working now, but something's wrong. Something is definitely not something is not right. I didn't rotate these. I'm very skeptical. I didn't believe it. Yeah, no, it's fooling you. The entire thigh is the wrong way around. No, it doesn't work yet. Don't get your hopes up. I think you gotta rotate all of these. Now this is gonna look weird. I don't know why the knee though is the right. Something's wrong. Something is not right. It shouldn't. The knee shouldn't face that way. Oh no, I have this rotated the wrong axis. Okay, that's how it. I mean, that's not how it should look, but you get what I mean. Well, no, the knee's still not right. The knee should be facing like the other way. All right. Well, if we do apply rotate like this again, what this should do is that the knee will like bend that way, but give it a sec. It will half work. I think we're gonna get to the point where it can half work. If I apply that as rest pose, okay, this is probably what. Yep, it half works. It bends the right way, but at a cost. That's what I mean. So if you rotate the leg, it's actually kind of worse now because now that the bottom of the leg goes all weird. So that's what I ended up getting to before. And why does that happen? Well, that is an excellent question. I will tell you when I find out. Yeah, so that's what rotating the bones will do. It kind of, the IK will bend the right way, but everything else won't work. So that's rigging. I think I need to eat. I want to go edit stuff. I have a video I gotta work on, so I'm gonna go do that because I've had enough looking at this. But I will figure it out, I always do. It's just not as easy as it looks. Rotating bones, setting roll, I know everyone says that, but no, that doesn't, I've just demonstrated that does not always work. So there is probably a combination of specific things I could do, but I'm gonna have to spend time on that, and that's gonna be very boring. So I'm gonna end it there. But at least we got the upper half. The upper half is done. Well, I mean, it's better. It's good. The fingers are there. The face is gonna be a complete nightmare. The torso is fine. I'm happy with the torso. It's completely perfect with auto weight still, which is, I guess that's the law of equivalent exchange, right? It'll give me a free, like, perfectly rigged torso and arms and shoulders. It'll do that perfectly, but everything else, I pay for that by having to spend extra time on everything else. So I guess it all kind of evens out. If you get one thing going well, you'll get 10 things going wrong. That's the law of equivalent exchange. But yeah, so I'll try and get some progress on that throughout the week. We'll see how we get. I want to try and have it though done in the next few days. I also, yeah, I'm going to go edit stuff now. I have a video I have to work on and another one I'm scripting. If you would like to see the video I'm doing, the devlog 30, what number? I can't remember now. 38, I think. If you want to see like a rough cut of that episode, I do have it available to my channel members and patrons on my Discord, which you can join, link down below. You can kind of see like what the episode's sort of going to be about, but there's bits of it I have redone, and that's what I've been working on lately. So I'm gonna spend my time better working on that, and I gotta take my eyes off this rig. But yeah, thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it. I will see you next week, same time. Be sure to check out the Patreon exclusive like merch design, which we're gonna be retiring at the end of the year. So if you want to get in on that, now is the time. But thanks so much. Next week, 12 a.m. UTC. I will see you then.